Time for the hot topic of the hour. Former President Trump defeating Nikki Haley in the Michigan primary yesterday, bringing him one step closer to securing the GOP nomination. But Nikki Haley again says she has no plans of dropping out. Watch.
This isn't about him. It's about the American people. And if states like Colorado and Michigan and Minnesota want to start winning again, you have to have somebody on the ticket that can win a general election. In every one of the early states, yes, did Donald Trump win? I give him that. But he lost 40% of the vote. You can't win a general election if you can't get 40% of Republican primary voters. You just can't.
Also, President Biden winning the Democrat primary in Michigan, despite more than 100,000 Democrats voting uncommitted in an act of protest against Biden's support for Israel's war on Gaza. Let's get into it now. Doug Collins, your reaction.
That is the most disingenuous speech I've heard from Nikki Haley. I mean, to go into that speech like that and to actually look at and say 40% of the people voted against Donald Trump, 39% of those people will vote for Donald Trump in November. Nikki, it's time to get out. The problem right now is she has become a walking Democratic surrogate. And in the fall, you're going to see her again, long after this is all gone, you're going to see her in 30-second ads attacking President Trump. You're going to see her be attacking Senate and Republican leaders. Democrats already have it planned. That was just disappointing.
So do you think she's now helping Biden?
Yes. She is helping Biden because she's making a Republican argument against Donald Trump. And it's her face, it's her voice, and there is that segment of independent voters, which is it's 45-45. You got a 10% in the middle if you want to call it that. And that's what she's going to be used against. Yeah. But that I've heard a bunch of clips, but that clip right there just sums it up. She has really no political clue to what's going on.
So as long as these donors keep giving her money, Lee, she's going to keep going. I mean, look at this poll from Emerson College and The Hill. It shows former President Trump leading Biden in Wisconsin as well. That's by 3 points, putting him in a position to win now all 7 key swing states, Lee.
And that gets even more when you put RFK Jr. in the mix. And so now Nikki Haley's argument that Donald Trump can't win a general election becomes really, really flimsy when you look at these numbers. He's ahead in Nevada by 10, North Carolina by 9, Georgia by 9, Arizona by 6, Pennsylvania by 5, now Wisconsin by 4, Michigan by 3. Her path, he has a very clear path to victories, and her whole argument is that she's the one that can beat Biden. Well, so can Donald Trump, and I think what she's trying to do right now is position herself for 2028, and so she can, if Trump doesn't win the general election, she's going to say, "I told you so. I fought for you. I was here for you all along," and she's going to be able to roll this tape and say it then. But I think it's doing a lot of damage at this point, and she should take a step aside.
In order for the Republicans to win in November, they need to get unified behind one person.
Yes.
And beat Biden.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, Doug mentions that 40% comment she made. She thought she was talking about Trump. Well, guess what? She can't win 40% of the vote. So she's talking about herself, which is the irony of this whole thing. And did you notice that as she was speaking, you know, the segment that we just played for everybody, nobody was even cheering. She got no support. The room was crickets. I don't know why she can't seem to think or why she can't seem to realize that her time has come and gone. Her time may come back again in 2028. And in fact, if she were smart, what she would try to do, or what she would do, is try to attach herself to Donald Trump and become a vice president, because then she would be in the prime position as an incumbent. Yeah. But for some reason, she is clouded by her desire, I think, to knock him down. Yeah. And it's becoming destructive.
Is she becoming destructive for her own plans in 2028?
Yeah, I think she's not only eating into the problem with the Republicans right now, she's eating into her own 2028 plans right here. I think that this is because she's taking the 60% in South Carolina, these others in there, and they're looking at saying, why are you attacking this and continuing on? Interesting point last night. Donald Trump got more votes in Michigan last night than the entire Democratic ticket yesterday. The entire Democratic ticket, more votes in Michigan.
I feel like Ron DeSantis read the room at the right time, steps down. Maybe he has a shot in 2028. Look, a lot can happen in 4 years.
Yeah, anything can happen.
You know, we'll see. But I don't know about Nikki Haley. We'll see what she does to her plans for 28 with all of this.
There's still a lot of people who think that she's going to go out there and do a no labels run, you know, and not walk away. She's come to bear, right?
Well, there were rumors yesterday, speculation. Well, you know, will she even partner with RFK?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, her speeches are looking more and more no-labelish all the time, and that's really an interesting point. But then now you throw that in, RFK in, or if you throw that in, then you got a different landscape in November. But does she really want to do that and have absolutely no chance of becoming president?
All right,
well, President Nixon, right? God rest his soul. The problem with being middle of the road or a third-party candidate, you get hit from both sides.
Let's slip in a short break. We're just getting started this morning.